This is the remix.
Mm-mm.
This is the R. Kelly remix.
Mm-mm.
So I'm still kind of speechless, but we had to get down to the aftermath of what is happening with R. Kelly, what should happen, and how we personally feel or how others around us feel. This is a tough issue. You said you watched the documentary how many times?
I watched it a couple of times because guess what? Shay's on the mic fell asleep a couple of times. So I had to re-look at it again because I was so into it. And because on Lifetime, they played it over and over and over and over up till 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's wild.
You know, they wanted to make sure everybody saw this documentary.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's really hot.
And the more it plays, the more of a nail is into his career. Here, his career's coffin. R. Kelly's career's coffin. Unlike the video that came out in, I guess, 2001, 2002, everyone is able to see this documentary. The video came out. Some people could see it here and there. Some people recorded it here and there, and it got blurry. And some people, I can see. I saw a little bit. Yeah, it pretty much does look like him, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
Kind of grainy.
Right. A lot of people rushed to see it because they wanted to see if it was him. That's why I wanted to see it so bad.
Did you look at it?
Yeah, I looked at it.
I didn't look at it.
Okay. Before I say it, I came across 4 different videos.
Okay.
3 were with women. They were clearly women in their 20s or 30s. Clearly. But that one was clearly a teenager and looked to be adolescent. Now, this whole thing is tricky because, and I hope she can listen. It's cool, but I once dated a woman that was built like that little girl, but she was beyond grad school. She's about 27 years old, but she never developed any breast.
Right.
She just didn't have it.
But there's some petite women who look really young when you ask them their age. They're in their late 20s. You're like, really?
Right. Or 30. You got people getting carded in their late 30s and early 40s because of how they're built. But the eyes will give it away. So even though this woman was in or beyond grad school, she just graduated grad school. When I met her, I'm saying, your parents let you live by yourself? That's how she looked to me. But in her eyes, plus she's real short and tiny, but in her eyes and what she said and her ID, R. Kelly, her card, her insurance, her own home lets you know that it's a woman and not a 14 or 15-year-old. So there are a lot of speculation that people can do, and people can always try to lean back and say, well, nah, he was found guilty. So, but someone doesn't have to be found guilty in order for you to know that they're guilty. So
well, he wasn't found. Remember, they dropped it.
He was found not guilty of child pornography.
Correct.
That's what the charge was.
Yeah.
But so it wasn't statutory rape and everything, it was child pornography. But if you are found innocent in a court of law, it doesn't mean that you're innocent in our eyes. So if I see you do something, or I can clearly witness you do something, and then you go to court and they say we have insufficient evidence, you're innocent, I know you're guilty. So R. Kelly is clearly guilty of, you can call it child pornography. The bigger charges, rape and statutory rape and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. There's so many charges that come up and so many bad things that come to mind. And that's before you bring up Aaliyah. So
with Aaliyah, from what I heard, and I don't know if this fact is true, but I heard that even Dame Dash, when he was dating Aaliyah, that she didn't even mention or talk about that with him.
Said she couldn't.
She
said,
couldn't.
Yeah, he
She
said
could.
that.
Yeah, he couldn't. She couldn't talk about. That was like something that she just did not want to talk about or disclose to him.
And he asked her, and she said, let's leave it alone.
Yeah, I don't want to touch on that. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to talk about it. And I'll let you know that she's been through some things. She was a tortured soul, and as much, because I know before you referred to her as our little angel or our angel Aaliyah, but she went through a lot, and she put that mask on. She put a great mask on. Who had that poem, We Wear the Mask? Was it Carter G. Woodson? No, Paul Laurence Dunbar. Oh my goodness. We Wear the Mask is a deep poem that we used to go over in high school and college. But she put a mask on so well that we all thought everything was hunky-dory with her and she was just as happy and sweet. But in the back of her mind, she had them demons of all the stuff that she went through with R. Kelly, as well as probably with her mother, maybe even her father.
Yeah.
Because looking at the documentary, I clearly see how Aaliyah's parents could have treated her or could have, quote unquote, sold her just like those parents did that allowed their daughter to go on tour with R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And said, well, she was gonna have some tutors or someone to watch her.
Well, yeah.
And he's gonna mentor her. And they gave their child, they put their child right in the hands. They handed her over.
Well, one situation I couldn't understand, and maybe I would have to be in their shoes, but it was a situation where the parents was already mad that one of the young ladies went on ahead and had an interview with R. Kelly without the parents. She was already at R. Kelly's hotel or in the studio with R. Kelly.
No, it was them. It was them. The same parents.
Right. Well, after they was mad about that situation, right, and they went and talked to her, and R. Kelly called them and assured them that we'll have an assistant that will be with her.
Right.
To me, I would want my own person because I already had a bad taste in my mouth of what happened. I would have wanted to be, I kind of would like my own. We would like to find our own person because first of all, the mother claimed she already had a feeling about R. Kelly in the first place.
She had more than a feeling. This is...
Even though your daughter might say, I can't believe that you wouldn't let me do this. I will do this. Well, you know what? I will call her bluff. Yeah, because I have to protect you. I'm the parent. I have to protect you. To me, I would have want to have my own person or my own person there to kind of be the eyes of what's going on.
But think about it. This is 10 or 15 years after the stuff with the videotape. And this is over 20 years after Aaliyah and the marriage certificate and
I get that.
Everything. So this is why you're wrong what you said. Don't ever say you're wrong. Like with something serious.
You might not agree.
No. I'm saying normally I wouldn't say you're wrong about something like this because it's serious and it's an opinion. It's the way you would do it. But here's where I'm gonna say you're wrong. And if I were around and you were telling me that your daughter, which you don't have, but you were telling me your 15, 16-year-old daughter was going with R. Kelly, I would tell you you're wrong, and then I would fight you. Not physically fight you, but we would have a nice other kind of fight. Because I
wouldn't let her go ahead with R. Kelly.
Verbal fight. Here's one reason. Here's the first reason. Who, since Aaliyah, have you seen R. Kelly help? I'll wait. Any of y'all out there, y'all let me know. There hasn't been anybody R. Kelly has helped. He helped, I guess, Sparkle. He helped her with that album.
Well, he wrote some songs for people.
No.
You talking about start.
Not produced anybody, but who have
did
you
you misunderstand what I said?
Hold on. I'm getting there. Who have you seen him take under his wing and help them get their own career going? Especially under the age of 25. Nobody. So that's number one. But let's get deeper into it. R. Kelly is a master manipulator. And he's going to find a way to get around whatever barrier you put in front of him. One tutor, two tutor for your daughter, a babysitter, an assistant. He's going to find a way to get around him. He has a system. He has an entourage. He has employees who all enable him because they're under they get paid, so they're in his pocket. So just like when they sent their older daughter to watch the younger daughter.
I would have sent my daughter.
Yes, but she was older, and
It
her
don't
eyes
matter.
were supposed to be open.
Okay.
Her eyes were supposed to be open. They worked their way around her. So you can say, okay, well, I'm gonna send a woman. I'm gonna send my daughter. I'm gonna send a sibling or a woman. I'll send a big, strong man. They will find a way to get him away from that little girl. They will find a way to separate them. That's what he does. So, just like he married Aaliyah, caught on the bus having sex with Aaliyah, all the other girls he went through on the video and everything else, you cannot release your child to R. Kelly. You can't. I don't care what you say. If you say, well, no, he's going to help. No, it's not worth it.
I'm not thinking that he's going to help. I was just saying that this is what I would have did. I probably wouldn't have trusted him if I already had a feeling. Like, if I already had a feeling about somebody, I'd be like, no, you can't go. That's me.
But R. Kelly, you wouldn't have a feeling about him. You have knowledge about him.
Right. So my thing is the mother had knowledge about him too. So even, I don't care how a fit that the daughter would have had, I am safeguarding you.
Yeah, I'd have took her ass overseas.
I don't care about
R.
that.
Kelly has a hold on these girls, and he's going to find a way. He's going to find out your weakness. He's going to find your insecurity, and he's going to pounce on it. And he's going to condition you. He's going to make you feel sorry for him, or he's going to make you feel like you're the only person that,
Like Ike.
that he's the only person that cares about you. And that's going to be it. And your daughter's going to either buy it or she's going to run the opposite direction. And many ran the opposite way, but that one that we're talking about, so you can't let your daughter go. I don't care what provisions you make for her.
Well, I'm
R.
just saying
Kelly
that I was
pulled-
talking about because of the lady. Me personally, I probably wouldn't have let my child
Ain't
go
no
with R.
problem.
Kelly.
Ain't no problem.
I'm
Then
not gonna
I
let-
go pick your mother up.
I'm not
And
picking
we
him
come
up.
over here, and you like, you wouldn't got her for real, mom. You didn't got my mother money. And she like, that's right. We gonna whoop your ass.
I wouldn't have even let my child go with R. Kelly,
Thank
having
you.
the
Thank
knowledge
you.
that
Thank
I
you.
had about him.
Thank you for
That's
coming
why I
my way.
couldn't understand why she would have. She had a feeling. Why would you let your daughter go?
She knew. She knew. Telling something. We thought it'd be different. We thought he was done with that child molestation stuff. He wasn't done with nothing. R. Kelly is waiting for that moment. She came out. He slipped her his phone number. Probably told her where he was staying. She gave the parents the phone number, but she knew where he was staying. Next thing you know, she's up in the hotel room having sex with him at 14, 15. According to the testimony. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh my.
Well, I saw something stating that he broke his silence because he's not saying anything. He's denying everything.
He shouldn't say
He's not
anything.
really saying too much about anything. I see that his lawyer is speaking for him, and he's pretty much not saying a whole lot himself. But I think R. Kelly needs to say something, say something. But for whatever reason, he's holding his silence. But I do want to make this point that I heard on Sway. What is his radio station? Is it just called
Sway
Sway?
in the morning.
Sway in the morning. He had Iyanla Van Zant. Did I say her name correct? I hope I did, ma'am.
You did.
But anyway, she had
You
mentioned.
did, beloved. He ain't get you got my name right.
So she mentioned on there that R. Kelly is sick and that he needs help because he was asking about him being on her show, and she had mentioned that he had inquired, but he could not give her a definitive reason for her help, and also she felt that wouldn't be something that should be on TV because it would exploit him even worse. That he needs something to happen, that's required not being in the limelight, which I agree. I feel the same way, but I do think he needs help. But if he doesn't realize that he needs help, he's not going to, ask for it. But I really wondered what he said. Like, what did he want to do? Or he just wanted publicity? He just wanted to say what he needed to say? Well, she could have did that in another 19, 20, 30 minute song.
He needs to. Now, this is for him and his career. This is not me with my common sense or my great intelligence.
Oh,
But with him and his career, he needs to be on a public TV show like Iyanla. and putting everything out there on that show. That's what he needs for his career, because his career has taken a major hit. So he's unable to get permits to do concerts, and he's losing out.
He's been muted.
Yeah, but he's losing out on so much money. He needs to be in the public eye on her show and try to rectify the situation on her show publicly. So he needs it done publicly for his career.
Well, but he doesn't. I get what you're saying. I think he needs to maybe say something, but him getting a treatment doesn't need to be paraded on
No,
TV.
it does. For his career, it does.
The way she put it, I understood.
She put it in real, I ain't gonna say doctor, but real therapeutic sense. He definitely doesn't need that for what's wrong with him. I'm talking about his career, because everything is so public now. He needs to be brought to the light publicly.
What's going on? I get that part.
No, it's deeper than that. He needs to show this. I'm talking about his career now. He needs to cry on Iyanla. He needs to say he's sorry for anybody he's hurt, and he didn't mean that. He wants that sympathy that he can gain only from somewhere like her show. Her show is the #1 platform for that. Personally, and in real life, that's definitely not what he needs. He needs the opposite, but he needed it 30 years ago or 35 years ago. So he's trying to rehabilitate his career. Personally, he won't get any better. He'll be the same messed up person. He'll be molesting somebody or abusing a woman or girl the following week of the show or the week of the show. He won't change. He's just trying to keep that career afloat.
And that's probably what he was intending to do with her show.
Hell yeah.
But because he couldn't articulate certain parts of the application that was needed for him to do what she was saying is extensive. Whatever question she had, it was extensive that he couldn't get to.
That wasn't right for her to do because he's not a good reader. So he
got people to read for him.
He failed on the first question.
He got people to read for him.
What does this word mean? You get tired of that after a while. He like, I gotta do 17 of these, and I'm stuck on #1. Man, forget that. Man, get out of my face. He's not gonna read all that stuff, and he's not gonna be able to articulate it back to her.
And she knows that. She actually knows that. She figured that part out. But he does hopefully get to a place where he knows that he really needs to get some help.
Yeah, but he was.
I don't think police. BS. Excuse me. I don't think being in jail is going to help him.
But he couldn't answer whatever she asked him because he couldn't figure out how to BS her. That's what it was.
How to be what?
How to BS her. How to bull as her.
Oh,
that's the only reason why he couldn't get past that.
That's true.
He wanted to get on that show like, okay, you can come on my show. And he comes on and he BS's the country. That's what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. But see, she doesn't like a lot of celebrities on it because she figures most of the celebrities that come on her show wants to get that platform of being on her show. And that's why she kind of really doesn't like a lot of celebrities being on her show.
You got to really...
She's serious about her work.
And put yourself in the line and stop being the public person.
And be the person who you really are.
Right. And
you got to know who you are.
And R. Kelly could come on that show and he could put a show on.
Yeah. Because he needs to be Robert on here.
And he can act like he's pouring his soul out. He would do it. It would be an amazing performance. Probably one of his best acting jobs. And it'd probably be a 2-episode or 3-episode. I'm dead serious.
It'll be extended because she only does 2 nights or something.
Right, because it'll be so good because of his performance. They'll keep going on, and he'll act like he's opening up, and he'll release this and release that. But it'll be an act.
And you're right because he just had some kind of birthday party somewhere, and he was singing, and my goodness. When I heard him, I was like, "Heck, on R. Kelly, you messed yourself up. You was very talented.
Still is talented.
Yes. Why are you doing? Oh my! And I know people are mad at other people who are backing R. Kelly, but you can't deny the talent of that man. I'm not, trying to put him on a pedestal, but his talent is. You can't deny it.
Yeah, you don't have to put him on a pedestal. He's actually on.
He is on here.
A tier. He's on an upper tier. Of musicians.
Yeah, he is.
So
very much so.
One thing that is hard for people to differentiate is the child molester and the predator from the disgusting person and the abuser, because those women who were of age,
Yeah.
anything that they did sexual with him and he had their consent or they did it together, all of that stuff should be off the table.
Yeah, it should be.
It's because you can't, in a court of law, you can't be found guilty of being disgusting, because that's a judgment thing. Some people do some
Yeah.
wild, freaky things
That's
in the
true.
bedroom, or extremely freaky things in the bedroom. He's guilty of that, but you can't go to jail for something like
No,
that.
you can't. Now there is one lady's name I do remember who she is publicly saying something about him now because she contracted a STD from him.
She
So
claims she did.
she claims she did allegedly. So she is trying to sue him for allegedly knowing that he had an STD and didn't tell her or didn't let her know.
Her
up
name
front.
is Faith,
Yeah, Faith.
and I believe that he may have given her one. But number one, you have to prove it.
Yeah. And what was it? Herpes?
Yes.
Yeah.
But she has to prove that. But there are so many women. So you had this older woman who's in her 30s, mid 30s, and she has a job at the radio station.
Oh yeah, the radio lady.
In Dallas, where R. Kelly comes to town. She falls for him. This is a professional woman who went through all this schooling and training or whatever, and she makes it onto radio and has her own radio show. She's a radio personality, so she's live on air 5 days a week. She quits
Yeah.
to go be with him.
Quits.
So anything she does, any tears she cries, yes, I feel sorry for her with the tear. Yeah, you feel bad and everything. You feel guilty, but I don't blame him as far as him having to get charges for anything that he did outside of smacking
Abuse.
them or punching them or doing something like that.
Yeah.
But outside of that, her quitting her job and going to be with him and finding out that there were other girls there. First of all, you're in radio, you know the stories. You've experienced all this stuff. You've heard it a million times. You know all the rumors and conjecture. You know everything. And you quit your job and did that. So
True.
anything that she did with him, people would say, "Oh, you look what she did to her. He wouldn't even did it." He didn't let her eat. She's a grown woman. She go get something to eat if she wants something to eat. But he said if she go get something to eat, then she gotta leave.
Bye.
Well, leave and go get yourself something to eat.
Bye.
So R. Kelly
Bye,
can't
Felicia.
he can't be found guilty of that.
The only thing that she could only thing he could be accused of is maybe the physical abuse, and that's
Yeah.
about it. Everything else, she consented to. She, like you said, she's a grown woman. But the second lady,
But he beat her up. So not to get off of that, but
yeah, he beat her
she
up.
said he smacked her around because I think she left and came back.
Well, she smacked him. He smacked her around too because you remember she brought up about the tape.
No, that's not her.
Yes, it is.
No, I'm talking about Kitty Jones. You're talking about Lisa Van Allen.
No, I'm talking about Kitty Jones.
Kitty Jones Kitty Jones worked at the radio station.
Yes,
in
she
Dallas.
did, and she got a tape from a friend. A friend showed her. A friend came to her about the tape, and she mentioned it to R. Kelly. She just didn't tell R. Kelly how she got it. And if you like to, we can put it on TV right now so
You
you can
saw
see
3
it.
times. So I'm gonna take your word
Yeah.
for it.
She mentioned the tape.
And so she took the tape.
She mentioned the tape. She took the tape, and she looked at it.
All right, well, we ain't gonna get to that because I thought it was Lisa Van Allen, the one who was
Lisa
17.
Van Allen is the one who took the tape out of
That's
his.
what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah.
I'm not talking about her.
Oh,
I'm talking about
Kitty
Kitty
Jones.
Kitty Jones.
She mentioned the tape. Did you really do that something thing? And he was
Well,
like, "Shut up!" Don't you
Yeah,
ever-"
she mentioned. Yeah, because
Oh,
a friend of hers
yeah.
called her
Yeah.
Kitty Jones.
Yeah.
Called Kitty Jones about the tape.
Right. That happened.
There we go.
That
That's what I'm
happened.
talking
I
about.
thought you were talking about. The
No,
one
I
that
knew.
actually took it.
Believe me, I know the difference because I looked at it 3 times.
Yeah. She got smacked up, and he can be charged for domestic abuse.
Yeah, that's what. That's
You want a bigger charge, but that's a start,
yeah. That's what she can do.
and that starts the ball rolling as
Yeah.
far
And
as.
what's the other young lady who was old enough who met R. Kelly? I can't think of her name. She had the long hair, dark skinned young lady, and she was abused too. And him and her talked about that. That's what he played on too. Her
But she was
abuse.
older.
Yeah, she was an older lady too. I think she was in her 30s as well.
Asante.
Hmm.
Asante was 35 years old.
It might have been her.
And Faith had the STD, but I think Asante is the one that went back to the place. And she cried when she got to that room. She didn't want to go to her old room.
Oh yeah, she cried.
I think that is that
yeah,
what you're talking about?
that's the one when she had to leave because it was too painful for her
Right.
to remember.
And she was in her 30s, I believe.
Yeah, and she had been abused before. She had been in an abusive
Right.
relationship before, which he played on that.
And he played off of it.
Yep.
Then you had the Savages, which are the parents that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And she went and tracked her daughter down on video. I watched some
Oh,
footage
you're talking
of
about
her.
the single mom.
No. She had a husband, but she went there by herself. I thought. Maybe I'm okay. Maybe
No,
I'm
you
lost.
talking about the young lady who had the short hair.
The Savages, the one that she went to Beverly Hills to get her daughter. Wasn't that? Is that the Savage? No, that's Dominique.
That's not.
No,
that's Dominique's mom.
Dominique's mother. Look at us.
Yeah.
We know the victims and everything.
Dominique's mom. That's the one who made it look like a boy.
Right. Because he likes to have his butt played with.
Well, yeah, and plus
Now,
she
Lisa
was
Van
very.
Allen said that they use dildos and other stuff on R. Kelly. You heard her say that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just move past that.
No, you got to smooth past that. Because I think that's why he had her dress up like a boy, so he could have
But I
some
thought, yeah.
action with a boy.
Well, I thought she was so rebellious too.
Well, he said
Dominique
she
was
tomboyish
rebellious
whenever he said,
and tomboyish.
Yeah, you could be the man. You can be, So it's like he's having sex with, or a man is having sex with him, or someone masculine is having sex with him when he wants that butt play. But the woman who went to Beverly Hills to get her child back, she said that her daughter left a few days later and went back to R. Kelly. But when she was with her for those few days, she said her daughter wouldn't talk to men. So he really had so much gain, because some people keep saying brainwash. I guess you can call it brainwashing. You can call it hypnotize. You can call it game. You could call it persuasion. But she really wouldn't talk to men. And her mother said, "What's wrong?" She just wouldn't talk to any male, but she had talked to the woman. So I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing it, and he's really getting in their heads deeper than Ike got in Tina's head. Because Tina left eventually.
Yeah.
But he's getting them young, but he's getting them older too.
Yeah, but whatever.
Oh, but hold on. The girl came back. She left. Didn't tell her mother bye. She just rolled out, and her mother cried and everything. But she came back again. Just to say that the
Right.
one that she was tracking down in Beverly Hills. Okay, but go ahead.
I want to say, whatever whatever happened during that time when R. Kelly, Robert, was young, whoever you want to talk about, something really must have transpired, even though we would never really know. But something must have really transpired during that time. He was introduced to sex at a young age, and we don't know what was said to him. What you know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that he's doing ultimately was done to him to that degree. For him to be doing it like this.
Pimp stuff. He's just using the pimp game, because he had a bottom bitch or bottom itch, which is the woman that's closest to you and who keeps the other woman in line. And that's what Savage was, according to the video. Remember?
Jocelyn.
Right.
Yeah.
They went to the room and she was like, "She's in there. She's the one that's supposed to keep all the girls
In line.
Right. And they communicate to her anything they want to tell R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Or the pimp. And that's pretty much how it was.
And that's what he really did.
And they would also persuade other women. So any one of them, if they were trained well enough, he could say, "Go pull her, go get her, go bring her into the family." And they would do that kind of stuff.
So that's what so is that creativity came out of Trapped in the Closet?
No, that's just a whole bunch of wild stuff. I was just talking to a brother about that, and he was saying that.
Because he played that pimp pretty good in Trapped in the Closet.
And he was saying he thought R. Kelly was being serious, trying to get in a war, like something like Thriller or like a major production. And I said, no, he couldn't have been serious. because of the pimp and the midgets or the little people. I thought R. Kelly was simply just cutting up, acting a fool, because he did parts 1 and 2 or something. And everybody,
he went all the way to 23.
yeah, and everybody bought into it. And it was so entertaining, and they just had to keep it going, and they had to keep it going quickly. So they said, "Well, look, this is dude throw everything against the wall." And we got like 3 or 4 people in all these closets, and people in the cabinet, under the sink. We got pimps. We going out to clubs. They went.
We at the church.
Yeah, they went to the church, and I said no. In costumes like Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
So I said no. He couldn't have been.
Especially
serious.
when he was the old man with the lady.
Right. So he was just acting the fool, but all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna say it made you overlook what he was doing to those who saw what he did, but I don't know, because I look back now and I see that the girl that was on the video that he was accused of child porn with, she still works with him.
The little girl, what?
She's not a little girl anymore.
Well, yeah, she's not a little girl.
But she's still there. She's in her late 20s or 30s or early 30s. But she's still there. She's still with him. She's still rolling with him. Remember, somebody said they did so-and-so, one of the 30-year-old woman said they saw her.
Oh, yeah. You're right. They did
and
say
this
that.
is recent. They saw her in the past
Oh,
few
Faith
years.
said that when she, remember when Faith talked to one of the, did she call the Savages and said she saw somebody? Yeah.
Yeah, and that was recent. So she's still with him. I mean, he got that on lock. So I don't know whatever her goals are in life or whatever, but I guess they end with being with him. And then we saw the video of them in concert on TMZ and on YouTube. So you got Joycelyn Savage and Asriel.
Yeah.
They are at an R. Kelly concert in the front row, cheering and giving him high fives. They can easily, while he's performing, they can easily say,
Leave.
excuse me, and
Go to the
walk down
bathroom
aisle
and leave.
and walk right out of the auditorium. But they out there giving him high fives and dancing and cheering and everything. So at what point is it kidnapping? Because a lot of people say kidnapping. These charges they're all over the place because they're hard to prove.
Yeah. But even Kitty said that she was able to do something on stage with him, like
yeah, a lot. They had the,
remember they had the fake contract that she pretended like she faked to sign the
all right,
contract.
before we get to that, all right, that's one contract, but she was sitting in the audience, and they would act like he's choosing somebody.
Right.
So whenever every city they went to, she would sit there and he would pull out the audience, take her up stage, do all this nasty stuff to her. Then they went behind the curtain, a little sheet, and they would see the silhouettes acting up. But, and you said she had to sign a contract, but I think it was Lisa Van Allen. Oh, I think it was Lisa Van Allen on a blog. I think it was Tasha K or something. But she did an interview, and she spoke of R. Kelly making them sign contracts that they stole this or they did that or they did such and such. So if they say anything bad about him, it's because they don't want to pay him back. So it's pretty much saying you're going to sign this and pretty much confessing that you did all these bad things to me. So when you go out there and you start telling people stories and talking to blogs or talking to the news or on interviews, we can look back and say, no, she's lying because this is the truth right here. So he made them sign documents from the get-go, pretty much incriminating themselves if they were to go out there and talk bad about him. So it's just a big mess.
It is a big mess. And it's going to go on until, I guess, R. Kelly breaks the silence and says something. I mean, after a while, he's going to have to say something because you're not hearing R. Kelly on no musical stations. You're not I mean, I don't know if I heard they were supposed to stop streaming his music. Even some people who have collaborations with him, they're not even playing those songs. But guess what? The other day, I was looking at BET Soul. And I don't know if you remember that group called Changing Faces. It was two ladies.
Yeah.
So they did play that video on there.
And if I stroke you up,
I don't mind.
And that's him in the video.
So he's in the video. So I was like shocked that they played that video because I was thinking that they wouldn't play it because he's in it and he does have a part in it.
So how do
but
you
he was on.
So how do you get him out of the videos?
You would have to stop playing that video, period.
Mm,
I mean, you couldn't play Changing Faces
you can
video.
take his voice off
Yeah, you could, but they didn't do that.
And you can take him out of the video. You have to make a whole new video.
You have to make
my
a
bad.
whole.
You can just add certain elements.
Yeah, and added it out.
Where he is.
Right, but they did not do that. They played the video. I remember as clear as day last Thursday.
Right, but here's the issue, and I say that just to present the point that you can't really wipe an artist off of the face of the earth, because not only is it going to come up some way, but it should come up. And let me tell you what I mean by that. It should come up as a deterrent for people in the future. So if you want to teach people what not to do, you have to bring up why they shouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
So you need more than the documentary itself, because after a while they're probably going to take the documentary down.
Yeah,
R. Kelly's in the documentary.
But it'll be filed, and you'll see it. I mean, the only way you could do it is Google it, and you'll see it on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah, but it's still there. So you have R. Kelly writing songs, and now B2K saying that they're going to stop performing songs he wrote, which are their most popular songs, but they're going to stop doing that. Celine Dion is going to stop. She's going to take the song that she did with R. Kelly off of iTunes. She done already made millions of dollars off of it.
Right.
So big damn
and
deal.
So did what's her name? That also did a song.
We getting to her.
Okay.
But she done already made that money off of them.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. And on top of that, people still have CDs, and it's still in the streaming services.
Yeah, and people are streaming it now because they're curious about the songs.
Right. Well, you get to that too. You jumping all over the place. And so I think you were talking about Lady Gaga. I think you bring her up. So now she wants to fall in line and take down everything. But did you see their performance together?
Yeah, she was all right with that.
They were super nasty together.
Yes, and she allowed it.
They were pretty much having sex on stage.
Yes.
I think it was Saturday Night Live on one of these award shows. But they were pretty much having sex in front of everybody. And I forgot the name of the song, but it's something like The Greatest Sex or Sex Unlike whatever. So she done made her money. Now she wants to, she's getting a lot of heat. So now she wants to take that down. But it's still everywhere. And I'm glad I haven't thrown away some of my CDs. And I'm not talking about R. Kelly in particular, but all the other artists. If everybody's dumping in CDs, then the minute somebody gets in trouble, and you want to take everything down off of streaming services and off of YouTube, whatever, then all that music will be gone forever. You know what I'm saying? If people don't have their CDs and tapes and whatever.
Yeah. But my thing is, I get what y'all trying to do is mute him. But to be honest, the man made good music. He's a good writer. He's good. He's good at what he does. And as much as you take down, it still doesn't take away what he's done.
And if he doesn't own the rights to his music,
does he?
He doesn't.
That's a good question.
He doesn't.
Who owns the rights to his music?
Aaliyah's uncle.
Whoa.
I think Aaliyah's mother owns some too. I think it's been alleged that Aaliyah's mother owns some of the rights to his music, but his uncle clearly owns.
Aaliyah's uncle.
Yes, remember Hankerson, the one that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because R. Kelly was saying he didn't read his contracts too well, and that was his manager at the time. So you're robbing the uncle. I think I say robbing the uncle, but you're cutting the uncle's money short. You're not hurting R. Kelly's pocket because he doesn't have anything in his pockets from music being played.
So he don't have no royalties.
Right. Right. So if he doesn't own the rights, he shouldn't have any royalties. So, and then you were about to talk about, who we talk about? Celine Dion, Lady Gaga, streaming services. So they took him off the playlist, the promoted playlist, but he's still on the streaming services.
But they trying to cut him off all the streaming services too.
I hope not.
They're working on that.
I hope not, because that would set a precedent that whenever someone does something, they would attack the streaming services and whatever. So when Kevin Hart went through his issues, they could say, we're going to take your comedy down, and we're going to ask the services to take your records off because you said these mean things about the gay community or whatever. So that would be something bad, because I don't like when they did Bill Cosby like that with the Cosby Show, because that took money. That's why Elvin ended up at Trader Joe's. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't getting his royalty check.
Now he's back on TV.
Right, but Malcolm Jamal, well, the show is back up.
Yeah.
But you still got Malcolm Jamal Warren. You still got Felicia Rashad Allen. Everybody else who worked on that show. Then you have other producers and directors that get paid from it. You can cut all called that off because of
Everybody's
something they
doing
had no idea Bill
And-
Cosby was doing.
Yeah, and then too, you was gonna stop doing a different world. He had a part in that as well.
Yeah, he's the creator of that. So yeah, I don't think that's the answer. Muting, you can mute all you want, especially current music and future music. But trying to wipe people off the face of the artistic landscape, that's not good in my opinion.
I don't think so either. I agree with that.
Yeah, but he man, they talking about his studio got raided and investigated. His ex-manager has turned himself in because he's been threatening some of the women. So they had a warrant out for him for that. Dave Chappelle, somebody brought up that after he said, "I'm gonna pee on you," that he did that pee on you skit.
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly, I remember someone asking him back then, "What you think about that and everything?" He said, "I thought it was funny. Yeah, I just laugh and everything. People do stuff like that." But it turns out R. Kelly had his bodyguards approach Dave Chappelle,
Oh.
and it said that Dave Chappelle had a couple of people with him, so they talked
Backed
back
off.
Yeah. So they talked back and forth, but R. Kelly and Dave Chappelle, from what I read in the article, they didn't talk. But yeah, two quote unquote entourages going back and forth. So he was offended. So he was lying to me when he said that in the interview that he gets a chuckle, he just laugh at that skit and other things like that, other jokes.
But that's what comedians do.
Right. But R. Kelly said he laughed and he wasn't laughing. if he had his entourage approaching him. And then I heard, I think it was Lisa Van Allen talking about how it hurt her, it hurts them to see those skits. So when they saw the Dave Chappelle skit, they weren't laughing. And I'm like, yeah, that was before you got there, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that
like,
skit happened before you joined the harem.
Yeah.
So you knew that skit. Oh my God, you still joined. And then some of that stuff happened to you, and then you get offended once it happened to you. Oh my goodness, it's just
a mess. It's a mess. And the saga is going to continue until we see, I really like to see what this outcome is going to be.
Until women or girls or parents stop giving him access, and girls hopefully have enough self-esteem to stay away from him and not let his words penetrate. Because in the video that you brought up, didn't they say some women were chanting, "Take me hostage"? In the video at one of the appearances?
You talking about when it was? It might have been.
Somebody was saying, "Take me hostage, take me. I want to go home with you," and stuff like that.
Well, there's a little video out where a cartoon R. Kelly is at a 12-year-old birthday party. Right. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that.
And R. Kelly was like, "Take me, y'all want to take me? This is Robert. And it's like, "Oh, R. Kelly." And he was like, if y'all get these field trip permission slips signed, y'all be able to go with me on the field trip."
Right.
I mean, so I'm gonna have to send it to you so you can see it.
They say he's a big time charmer and persuaded, and I can see it. 'Cause
I can see it. How he is on
you
stage.
Can sing. First of all, you can sing. You have money.
He's the Pied Piper.
Yes, but your voice will get you places where your face can't.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't have a bad face and he can sing and he can talk that pimp talk, then we really don't hear him talk. But he obviously gets into their heads. Then he has an arsenal of weaponry
to use.
And a lot of them just can't handle it. And to the point where he's got 35-year-old women agreeing. One woman talking about she was being cheated on by her husband, so she got divorced and she joined R. Kelly even though she knew he had multiple women.
Well, this is what I want to say.
Just to have some fun.
To have some fun. But my thing is, the way things is now, R. Kelly is not the be-all, end-all to getting into the industry. You don't have to go through R. Kelly. There's YouTube. There's so many different ways that you can get in. I want young girls to know that you don't have to listen. And this is not just in the music business. This is also happening in film. The couch.
Yeah, the casting couch.
The casting couch. Mm-hmm. So these are not the only ways that you can get on, is by an artist telling you that. And like
but they have the gate. But they're at the gate.
They're at the gate, but the bad thing is you don't go nowhere past it. As you just said,
Like I said to you,
as you just said the first time, that you don't see anybody on. What he's promising you something, but where are you going? When are you going to sing? When are you going to cut an album? When are you going to do all this? It's not happening.
Lock you up. Well, some I think,
or maybe they're his background dancers.
One or two say they were background singers or something,
and dancers. Maybe they're doing that.
Yeah, but it's not going to end well unless you just want some wild sex and you want to be dominated.
Yeah, it's not going to end. So don't give your girls to these men. Just don't freely because they're celebrities. Celebrities lie too.
I don't know how you tell a woman, not only can you not eat, but I put a bucket in your room.
That's crazy. I'm sorry.
These are grown. These are women in their 30s, some in their 20s, but 30s. Yeah, you got some, probably one or two teens in there, and I can understand them being persuaded or manipulated. But how can you do that to a grown woman?
Well, he plays on their mental too, because he looks for the weakness in the woman. Yeah. He sees the weakness and he works on that. He finds the right woman. Finds that vulnerability.
But like the one who said that she had enough and she just walked out. I don't.
Now Kitty would have went back if he answered that phone. Remember, she was leaving and she called him back. She said if he would have answered that phone, she would have went back.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he didn't answer the phone.
And she's in her 30s.
So now you're free.
And she's in her 30s. So, Orenike, the co-founder of the Mute R. Kelly movement, and I forgot the other woman's name. The founder.
Oh yeah, she's the woman. She was on This Is Why We Rock on Girl. She got an award
Black
for
Girls Rock.
Black Girls Rock.
But big ups to them for all that they do and all their efforts. And it's rough as a fan when you truly see that one of your favorite celebrities or singers or whatever is doing some real nasty, illegal, perverted stuff. It's hard to
fathom it. It's hard.
That. Yeah, first you have to believe it. Then once it's in your face and it's true, how do you act? What do you do? How does because many people had "Step in the Name of Love" as their wedding song.
Yes, I Believe I Can Fly was at graduations.
So what do? You go back and you got this old program from your graduation, and what do you see on the cover? Class of 1999 or class of 2008, and underneath it in italics, "I Believe I Can Fly." What do you do? Because you can't strip everything. You can't do it. So some of the stuff is there. Some of these things are great. The happy people. Yeah. Some of these things bring back great memories. Mm-hmm. So if you
backyard party.
Yeah, you get. In that video, I think they were opening the Grammys or the BET Awards.
At the
he
end.
was walking down the street for the backyard party, and he was singing. He
had
ended
the
up at the party, and then they walked on stage. He killed the performance, and he killed the Sam Cooke? Not Sam Cooke. They did an ode to either Sam Cooke or Jackie Wilson, and he killed it.
He did.
And then you had to try to strip all that stuff from your brain.
Yeah. Because even when he did that album before, what was the one where it sounded like all the old music? He did kind of an old, oh my God, Love Letter.
Love Letter.
I mean, that album right there took you to a whole different... Yeah, it took you to a whole new place because it was almost like he was bringing the 60s back.
And it wasn't even like R. Kelly.
No.
It was amazing.
I was like, because I thought at that time he was thinking everybody was sounding too closely to him. He had to kind of change his sound a little bit.
He went left.
Right.
And it's a great CD. It's a great CD. That one, "Step in the Name of Love."
Yeah. Chocolate Factory.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, man. Come on. I'm an R. Kelly's fan, so I was an R. Kelly's fan, so I know all the music. And Money Green knows how I felt about me some R. Kelly.
I remember because I was about to crack a joke. Let me stop.
Don't crack a joke because I have a segment on YouTube about the 5 top R. Kelly songs, and I'm gonna have to take that down.
Leave it up there.
I have to take it down.
Leave it up there.
Off of there. Nah, I might get bashed. I ain't doing that.
They let them bash you.
For what?
They let them bash you. Let them come up there. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But I don't have anything else to add. It's just I'm not gonna say impossible, but you have to really see what you want to listen to or what you're comfortable with listening to. Or if you're not comfortable with listening to anything at all. Because some people saying, I'm not stopping the music. They can lock him up, they can do whatever, but this music is my music and it touches me in a certain way. And I understand that. And those people saying, I'm done with anything R. Kelly. I understand that too, but there's so many related artists that he influenced or touched or wrote for or did the music for, or he made a cameo in their video, or he was actually in a song and it's a duet. It is too much stuff for you to.
He did a score on Space Jam.
Yeah, and then you got the Michael Jackson, You Are Not Alone. So now when I play that album, they had to skip over You Are Not Alone.
Yeah, and then he wrote a song for Maxwell. I mean, come
Maxwell,
on.
Fortunate.
Yeah, that sounds like, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
Yeah,
it's just the it almost feels like a funeral. Like, you know,
for the living.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The rise and the fall.
It's a funeral of a living, breathing artist, and I don't know if he can.
I don't know if he can be a phoenix in this.
Well, he needs to. Number one, he needs to get therapy. Whether he's getting locked up or whether he's charged in that, he needs to get therapy.
He do.
There's something wrong with him, and
yes.
And those enablers have made his life.
And
worse.
they need to go to jail. All the enablers for money, and that's the problem with a lot of artists, even with the ones on drugs or whatever. It's always enablers who's there to like be yes men. You gotta say no. You can't keep allowing these things to happen. But guess what? This falls on you too. As an enabler, this falls on you.
Yeah, and I remember, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but that Sparkle said nobody came forward, no celebrities ever came forward and condemned R. Kelly. I think I mentioned this last time, but Nas condemned R. Kelly back then. And he came out and he said some real harsh things. He said them publicly. He said them at a concert and it was recorded and it was replayed. But nobody really cared. I guess it's like they didn't care about Lisa Van Allen's testimony because she did testify in court against them. So.
I'm going to have to listen to that Nas. I don't remember that.
Yeah, he said, because Nas just did a song with him right before the video came out. So it's after Aaliyah, but it's before the DVD or the tape came out, and Nas just went crazy and blasting them. And said, we don't deal with R. Kelly, we don't deal with child molesters, we don't deal with this kind of stuff, we don't support R. Kelly and all. He just went off on him for
he did a rant,
20 or 30 seconds, right, and they ain't work together no more. But they had a nice song together. Yeah.
Who hasn't had a nice song?
That was on the R album. With Keith Murray, that Keith
Murray song, man. Yeah. Okay.
Drinks in the air, people everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, that's enough.
Oh my goodness, because I'm a big Keith Murray fan. So when I first heard that, and you just hear Keith Murray's song, Keith Murray's voice, I perked up. And then I heard R. Kelly. I was like, oh.
That was a good collaboration. He collaborates great with people. I'm telling you, he does collab. I mean, I'm stumped for real. I'm stumped.
Half on the Baby album.
I guess about half on a Baby. Anyway,
and and on that album he talks about not just when a woman's fed up.
When a woman's fed up,
he gets beat up by the woman. Now that would be some karma. Remember he got beat up. He said the woman threw hot grits on him and started beating him up. That he had a broken arm or something. He was in the police station testifying.
Yeah.
That would be some karma.
Was that his wife? It's like
no, but if the woman turned against him, and whooped his ass, that would be some karma.
It wouldn't, because the enablers would step in, so they wouldn't be able to.
They don't want that black room. They whooped his ass, and that would be some nice. That'd be a nice ending to everything. And I know we talked about his wife saying that's my baby daddy, and he's a genius at the end of the day, and he take care of us. He did what he had to do to take care of his family. So she's back and forth.
I don't know what she does.
It's a big mess.
Yeah,
it's a big mess. And if the law wants to get real technical, they can throw blinders to a lot of the mess and a lot of the hypocrisies that are going on with some of the people and how they contradict themselves, and they can just find them guilty on something. They can easily do that. So we'll see.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up this segment of Lyrics and Lies.
There's Shades on the Mic and Money Green went half on this podcast. We went half on this podcast. So
and we're out.
Lyrics and Lies. Later.